Okay, I'm going to give you some intuition about decimal multiplication, and specifically, like, why remove the decimal places, why it's different than addition. Well, so what I mean is, whenever we multiply two decimal numbers, like 2.0.2 times 0.2, we do it like this. 2 times 2 is 4, and then 2 times 0 is 0. That's it. And then we have to figure out where to put the decimal point. Well, we have to figure out where to put the decimal point. And the way we figure it out is that we see how many decimal place values there are. There's 1, 2. And then we go 1, 2, and we put the decimal point right here, right? Well, why don't we just break it down like this? Well, the reason is goes a bit like this. If I were to ask you to multiply 0.5 times 1, what would you get? Well, you get 0.5. 1 times 5 is 5, and 0, and then there's only one decimal place value. So you get 0.5. If I were to ask you to multiply, and the reason being is that whenever you are multiplying, a decimal value or times a whole number, you're going to add that many decimal values, as in this case, just 1 to 0, 0.5, which is just 0.5, that many times. Okay, so if I were to add 0.5, one time to 0, because that's how addition works, or multiplication, is that you add a certain number a certain amount of times to 0. So if I were to add 0.5 one time to 0, I get 0.5. So this makes sense. But if I were to ask you, okay, 0.9 is less than 1, right? So I want you to add 0.5 0.9 times. Well, how does that work? Well, that's exactly what decimal multiplication is right here. In this case, the reason we got a number smaller than this one is because we were multiplying these numbers against a number that was less than 1. If we were to multiply this number against 1, we get this number, a whole number, the whole thing. But if we were to multiply it to a number less than 1, let's say 0.9, 10.5, it's like 5 times 9 is 8, not 18, 45. And 5 times 0 is 0. And then, so we put 4 here, and then there's 2, so 1, 2. So we get a number 0.45, which is less than 0.5. And the reason is because we're adding only 0.9 of 0.5 to 0. We're adding 0.9 out of 0.5 to 0, which is 0.45. And that's why we have to count these to move the decimal point, because we're not moving a whole number. A whole number would get us one of these, just one. And if we're multiplying against a decimal number like this, that's less than 1, we're not going to get the whole 1. We're going to add just part of it. And that's why we have to move the decimal point like this. That's cool.